we go. Good morning, good morning. So this had no news on it. Okay, pretty bad death spiral. Hope you're all having a good morning. Today is Friday. Hoping that we can have a good way to close out the week here. Really just trying not to have a big drawdown. Friday was a very impressive day. I'm hoping I can capture something and we see a similar move today, but we'll see. Oh, actually, real quick, I need to do one thing real quick. Good morning, pal. Need to do one quick thing. Just need to adjust my sizing because I said I was going to change it to half size today. So I just want to go ahead and do that. Just take a moment. All right, we're back. We are at half size. So it's a nice resolution. I liked the breakdown here, but the thing that was throwing me off was there was no news on this. Good morning, Larry. Larry, you have been on top of it for my streams. You've been here every day. I appreciate you, man. Good morning, everybody. Looking like it might be a slower day, but at the same time, it's still super early, so it's hard to know for sure. Looking like we really just have TN, MG, and VERO. Also, TNMG, I didn't even notice this floats super high on this. What does the level 2 look like? Does that match that? Yeah, okay. Level 2 on TNMG does look pretty thick. Not super thick. Not really 41 million thick. But it does look a little bit. As for Vero, it looks like this is a continuation from yesterday. Well, there was the news at 5 this morning. Oh, this was from Thursday. Okay, no. So this was from yesterday. Okay. Good morning, boy. Shall they? Azzy? I tried. But yeah, this looks like a continuation from yesterday. This one could break out as well. Shouldn't rule it out. I appreciate you. You make sense. Well, I try to, although sometimes I don't make sense. That's when it's bad. All right, we're seeing it again, though, with this. We're seeing this pullback and descending volume. Hey there, morning all, folks. Mr. Buckeye, good morning, sir. If you guys haven't already, I would appreciate it if you left a like. Help me get this out to more people. It would help me out. But no pressure. Only do it if you want to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be patient. My main goal yesterday, because I am still in trader rehab, my main goal is just to take high quality setups. The stock is giving some interesting setups. I was tempted to take a trade here, but given there was no news on this, I ultimately pushed not to. When you don't make sense, you make dollars. Well, Skivon, I would maybe disagree. We do. Oh wait, we actually have a stock here. Yeah, I would disagree, Skivon. I would argue that when I don't make sense could be when I lose the most. Also, just to pivot back very briefly, TNMG did just kind of rug here. Can't say I'm surprised. No news. Anyway, back on to GWAV. No news again. Okay. All right, so we're seeing multiple stocks with no news. We'll give it a minute. It could just populate a minute or two late, but at the moment, I'm going to assume no news unless I see otherwise. I mean, this is a super low flow. What does the level 2 look like for this? Looks pretty thin. This could just legitimately be a low float. Okay, the lower float is a stronger argument, right? TNMG, it had a high float and no news. This doesn't have news either, but this is a much lower float, allegedly. If that's true, then this makes more sense. I want to check the filings real quick. I am seeing some very big orders on the level 2, which really shouldn't exist for this kind of float, but just want to try and verify it more. Okay, so they have multiple shelf registrations. If that's the case, there is an argument that this has been diluted recently. If that's the case, then that would explain it. Because I am seeing occasionally a 5,000 share order on the ask, which is a pretty high order for only 800,000. And seeing them pop up repeatedly is interesting. Yeah. So I'm going to question if this is actually 800,000 or not. TNMG did do a nice pop back up here. It's a pretty big move too, wasn't it? 560 to 860. A $3 move in 3 minutes. Absolutely insane move. We have heavy selling pressure. These two candles are pretty heavy compared to this move up. The volume. Very standard though. If we see high volume on this candle and we break out, this can become invalidated. And it's back into bullish, but otherwise I am leaning bearish. Yeah, the fact that two of the early movers today have been no new stocks is concerning. Yeah, this thing just it just went all the way down. Yeah. Nearly a full retracement. It's TKH moving. Again, no news. Okay, this is 3 times now we've seen no new stocks moving. It seems like anything that's just getting a pump here is rolling over. There could be people trying to take advantage of the fact that it's a hot market. Or it could just be that something is moving even slightly and people are just jumping on it. Right, if we want to take the no manipulation play, this could just be people overhyped and just jumping on anything that moves. Wow. This is interesting. I will take a try at this, actually. This is a crazy, crazy overreaction for that volume. Let's see if we get a pop or if this just rolls over more. So I took half off there. Tried to pop to 30, but it ended up rejecting. This might just roll over more. This was a pretty crazy reaction. It was equal volume to this. So I'm really surprised that we didn't see a better bounce. Still low volume on this breakdown. There's an 8,500 sell order though, 215. Yeah, to see this kind of reaction on no news is very strange. Okay, the sell order moved down too. Moved down to 188. Was 115. And then they pulled the order. Good morning, Jay. Yeah, I do see Vero is breaking out quite heavily. Still seeing that big order at $2. I mean, this could have just been a pump and dump setup. Right, this moved up on lighter volume, these candles. The pump and then the eventual dump. This is a crazy, crazy dump, though. All the way down to 178. Like, at least according to the daily, this is a pretty big sudden drop for no news. $230 to 180. Vero curling nicely. Yeah, Vero seems like it's the only stock that's like actually moved with news today. We've had 3 stocks move with no news. Wow. This is actually insane how it's selling off this much. It could just be a case that there is someone trying to sell. I've seen these bigger orders, 8,000 orders, it's still sitting at $2. But I'm just really surprised that it's selling this much with no news, and I would consider these volumes equal. So really, yeah, I'm just surprised. Okay, order moved down to 182. I mean, given how this volume has dropped, this is like 7,000. This is still strong territory. VERO continuing to run. Good morning, Marcel. Yeah, this thing's just pulling away. Super nice volume on it, too. Yeah, and even notably this pullback, this was quite light volume, so this would have been a strong signal here. TNMG did give back the entire move. Not surprised. GWEV also still sitting near the lows. Still surprised by SDKH. This is quite an intense rug. If I were to add, I would want to see this continue down to 160s, 150s with low volume. I don't really want to add here, just because I keep seeing large sell orders flashing up. Vero's just doing a great job pulling away. It's up 320%. We got 2 minutes till the half hour. Still watching STKH for a curl attempt. We'll see if we get anything else that comes here. PDRX looks like it could be moving, getting some good volume here. Again, no. Well, this is 4 stocks now with no news. That's interesting. Considering I tried one of them with no news and it was a big overextension. This is a pretty big reaction. And considering this hasn't bounced, like it didn't even have this bounce attempt really succeed. I'm really hesitant to just jump on the next no news stock that moves. Vera was a fun ride, walking away early today. Good luck, everyone. Really, that soon? Well, I mean, fair enough. Do what you gotta do. No, Vera was a very impressive move, definitely. I was more focused on STKH because that was what I was in at the time. I mean, I say that I'm still in for half size, but yeah, it was a good move. I mean, even this pullback's been light volume. This whole thing, this has been lighter volume. Yeah, I was thinking about if it was worth buying there. Good morning, Avatar. Good morning. You could argue, too, that because no news seems to have come out for the half hour, this is redirecting energy back to Vero. I think that's a reasonable argument. Yeah, there really is just no news that's come out. All the stocks that have moved, right? We've had like 4 or 5 stocks now that have moved, and they've all been no news. The only stock that's moved and held up is Vero, and this had news from yesterday. So this is a very unusual sudden pivot. Very interesting. JFBR is moving, but it's a penny stock. Does have news. Okay, so the 2 stocks with news, it seems, are running. Even JFBR, this is very crazy move from it. Straight up to $1. Yeah, signs distribution agreement. It seems kind of I don't want to say vague, but yeah, that could mean many things. Wow. Well, this is what a move. $3 million. See what this pullback looks like. That's crazy. Like 75 cents straight to $1.30. I mean, it went to $1.50 really. Continuing to see exponential volume. This might finally be the pullback, though. Yeah, so we broke through 150 again just to reverse hard. I'd want to see a further breakdown given this is a high volume. This is a horrible death spiral stock, by the way, just straight down. We'll see. I'm probably looking for like high ones, like 110. If we get it. Okay, lower volume here, but still early. And these two are a bit elevated. Still already looking bullish. This pullback has been lower volume itself. Maybe 110s was too conservative. You could have captured 28 cents of range from this candle. That's actually still crazy for this price. This thing is ranging like crazy relative to the price. I'm able to do this. Yeah, okay. Really interesting how we're just ranging here. It looks like a lot of chop now, though. Whether we break out or reverse, I'm not really sure. Hmm. And really pressuring this lower end now. Good morning, volume gang. Good morning. Yeah, this did end up breaking. I want to see us try to push to 110. It might be holding here, though. 114 is holding up pretty well. I don't want to get in here, but this does look like a pretty weak breakdown, at least initially. Right, these volume candles are much lower than the rest of the move. And this should have been a critical level. We'll see, though. I mean, it is still 1 million volume, so it is still quite high. Just relative to this, it's much higher, or much lower. Okay, it did end up breaking back up. Wow, up to 43 viewers. It's crazy. Good morning, everybody. 43 this early is pretty high. Yeah, so this looked like an interesting buy point. I wanted us to go down a little bit lower. Didn't quite get where I wanted to go. Low was 112. I was really looking for 110. You've been doing really good scaling in and out of these hot stocks? Yes, sir. Volume gang going for strong exponential gains. Exponential indeed. JFBR is a historic turd. Yeah, I saw that. The daily looked really horrendous for it. Surprising move. Wouldn't be surprised if it would. Yeah. Or if it round trips. I mean, I'm mixed on it. It makes sense that it would round trip. But at the same time, this is clearly a strong short candidate, right? It's ultimately done well, but you can see there's been instances like this where shorts just get caught, I would assume, and you just have this like 3x instance. And really, this is kind of like that, right? We're basically up 3x. Like, what are we up? Only 120, that's it. It feels like more. I guess it's only a little over 100%. But yeah, like, I could see a world where this goes to $2 or $3. It's not super high odds, but just if this is a short squeeze, because I would assume short pressure is very heavy on this. I would not be surprised to see this squeezing shorts. right? Being down over 100%. It's very rough. But I understand what you're saying too, right? A lot of people are also going to look at this and say, this company's crap. It'll go back down. But don't worry, that's how SMX happened. Shorts just refusing to cover. Often the worst stocks have the biggest moves, ironically. Okay, this did end up curling. So I was about 2 cents off from my ideal target here. Probably just waiting for the top of the hour, though, if I'm being honest. Like, we've had 2 stocks in play, and Vero was more of a continuation from yesterday, and JFBR was a penny stock at first. I mean, I wasn't going to trade it initially, but when I saw how strong it broke through $1, I got more interested. Yeah, Vera's really just holding up here. Very strong consolidation, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another leg on this. Kind of a disappointing first half of the day, though, considering how hot it was yesterday. JFBR defines sucks. Defines sucks, yeah. I mean, on the daily, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what does this look like on the 3-year? It's going to be atrocious, right? Yeah, I mean, it's only $2,500. Well, let me go. Let me go back further. Let's go back 5. We'll go 10 years. Okay, this doesn't even go back 10 years. Okay, so this goes back like 3 years. Or 4 years. So around a little more than 3 years. So a little more than 3 years ago, this stock was $5,000 a share. Okay. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. I've seen worse, believe it or not. I have seen worse stocks than this one. But yeah, this one's pretty bad. But like I said, the worst stocks make the biggest moves. All right. I guess we're just waiting for the top of the hour. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about. I mean, I'm watching JPR and Vero, and both of them are just kind of going sideways here. Speaking of which, you got to look at Beanie, former MLGO. Really, MLGO changed. Really. This is not. When did it change? Did this just happen? Because, I mean, this says it's still here. Also, a very nice move on MLGO. Ooh, yeah, Beanie looking. Wait, what? Oh, this is awful. This is 1 year? Wait. No. This can't be 1 year. That's 1 year? What the heck did they do? This is a Ponzi scheme. What? Okay, hold on. How bad does it get? The SEC needs to investigate this company. What? Okay. Okay, I think there's too many zeros. Hold on. Wait, I feel like the zeros is broken. Right, that can't be right. There's no way. There's no way. This should be illegal. Okay, I understand a company is crap. I don't know what is this company? Hold on. I gotta look this up. Stop. Bollinger Innovations, well, they're not innovating anything much, is an electric vehicle manufacturer. Let's see. It was actually just delisted in 2025. Like October 2025, so somewhat recent. Oh wow, that's horrible. There was one other stock that kind of compares to this. It was like EJ or EH or something. But no, I think this is worse. How can you have that many zeros? Like you just lost everything. You put $1 in, you have less than 1/1,000,000 of a cent. Okay, this is a short seller's dream. This is a short seller's dream right here. Like, it just keeps zooming in, and it doesn't look like I'm zooming in. It just doesn't look like I'm zooming in. It's just straight down. Look, I'm not a short seller, but if they only did 10 reverse splits, by the way, that must mean that this stock has reverse splitted like 1,000 to 1 or something. Maybe not 1,000, but it's like gotta be several hundred. 1 for 250, yeah. Okay, LCFY. Immediate pop here. Looks like we have news on it. Yeah. Huge move, 100% move right out of the gates. Expands U.S. partnership. This news catalyst doesn't even mean anything. This just instantly gets 100% squeeze. I mean, it's a lower float, I guess. I can't touch it. This news is mid, and this immediately squeezed up 100%. I gotta wait. Schwabbed? Yeah, not surprised. That big of a squeeze with only 100,000 volume is insane. Yeah, no, we'll see. I think this is rolling over, but we'll see. At least this actually has news behind it, unlike some of these other moves we've seen. Round trip soon. We'll see. We've seen some crazy moves in the last few days, but to me, I can't get on board with this. This news catalyst is so mid. I understand the float's low. I understand the volume's high, but it feels like it's just a pure gamble to get in up here. Let me go ahead and map out some dailies. So we got $4 as a clear support. It's way down here. It just, okay, I mean, I guess maybe like 420. 440 to 420 seems reasonable for an entry. That's way off of where we're at, though. I mean, if we look for closer supports, I guess you could say around the 5 to 550 range. There's some support. That's like right here. I don't want to buy this high, man. This feels like a complete gamble. I really gotta wait for like 420 to 440. We'll see if we get down there. I do have an order out. We'll see if I get hit. I'm not gonna chase. $550 does seem to be holding pretty well. So, like I said, the support here was 5 to 550. This could act as support. That's a fair argument. I just feel like it's so extended. Even after this pullback, it's still up 84% immediately. Kind of hit daily resistance at the top. What is this? 720s. Yeah, it did kind of hit resistance. Or at least was close. Fair enough, if you're going to bounce here. This still feels a bit heavy. This volume's quite high relative to the initial spike. BERO. Looks like it could be moving again here. It's got some nice movement to it. All right, let's see how big this rug is. All right, did get hit. Took some profit there at 50. All right, now for the rest. Okay. In hindsight, I said 420 to 440. I went 430. I could have got away with 420. Still a good hit. Yeah, I mean, this was so high up. I couldn't buy here. This is just too extended. If the news was amazing, I would have given more leeway to this. But for a partnership thing, that's such a mid catalyst to be up 100%. Hmm. JFBR under $1. What a turd. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great stock, right? Pretty straightforward with that one. I will say, I understand you can look at something and just say it sucks. But those are the kind of stocks that can make huge moves too. So you got to respect them. At least to some level. Go ahead and log these in the meantime. Yeah, this thing it gave back like 80% of the move. Still have that half-size position on STKH. So that's a longer term one. Hmm. One. Change that time. That time's wrong. So no catalyst. Extreme overreaction. Yeah, realistically, that wasn't the best quality setup. And I can't put the sub price yet since I sold half and I still have the other half. Yeah, so I caught part of this bounce here. It ended up fully rolling over though. You could argue maybe there's a chance for a bounce here. And you did end up getting what looks like a bounce, but this looked like the cleaner bounce position to me. Just continuing. This is like looking close to interesting again. What do we have on daily? Honestly, right here would have been support. I would prefer to see $3 break though. That'd be extremely safe for an entry. Yeah, there's not really... Right, the next real support, honestly, is like 286, 283. It might just bounce here, though. We've seen multiple sudden drops. This is the third sudden drop, really. Kind of sad how today hasn't had as much opportunity as the last few. And we've seen such weird action, right? The first 30 minutes, just a bunch of no news pumps. VERO really is the breadwinner at the moment. This is the only one that's really moved well. JFBR is also very solid, but this was a abnormal play. Yeah, I can't believe this pumped 100% instantly and then just I mean, I expected it to roll over, but I didn't expect us to, first of all, I didn't expect us to pump all the way up here. And then I didn't expect us to roll all the way back down without any clear bounce. Very nasty. CCL getting a bit of movement here. 13 million shares though. Doesn't have news for this sudden volume surge. Could just be a play off of this. It's worth noting that this volume is higher than all of this. That's significant. But this looks very controlled too. The way this moved down and the way this moved up. This looks very controlled. You saw LCFY at 380, but it ran too fast. Yeah. Yeah, I would have been interested in it too. But no, that's way too much of a move. Mm. Ivan saying, you are here now to Duvin. Is there some sort of lore that I'm missing? Yeah, I guess we're just waiting for the half hour. I guess it is Friday. I don't know. I just really thought today was going to be more flamboyant, considering how Wednesday and Thursday were. The FBR did end up bouncing $1. Whether or not it makes another leg or not, we'll see. I haven't ruled this one out, just because this is a surprise play. But even if this does run, given JFBR's history, I wouldn't expect it to run more than a day or two before rolling over. Right, even in the recent history, in the last year, even on a pop like this, the stock only held up for 4 days before giving it all back. Maybe 5 days. Hi, man, you're back. I have some technical questions. Can I write you a small... Okay. Yeah, if you want, on the Discord server, you can just DM me directly. That's fine. Yeah. Just go ahead and message me on Discord. Yes, this is one of the best YouTube. What? Okay, are you guys like, hold on, are you guys like bots? Or something? Like, your names are intriguing and the way you're talking is interesting. Yeah, Duvin, can you type 123 for me, please? Just want to make sure you're not a bot. Take all the time you need. I'll give you 2 minutes. Volume gang bots. No, not you, John. No, John, no. You're fine, John. Oh, God. Oh, no. Where's the soup? Okay, yeah. I think these two are bots. I'll ask Evan too. Oh shit, Duvin actually typed it. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Duven actually... Wait. Okay, now I'm confused. Wait. Uh... Hmm. Discord link expired? Okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and update it. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, bro, you actually said 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm confused. You're actually not a bot. You guys are just saying crazy random messages. All right. Well, I mean, okay. Okay, if you're actually people, you can stay. That's fine. But like, I'm actually legitimately surprised. Give me 1 sec. I'll update the Discord. All right. Should be good to show this again. All right, so there's the Discord link. I'll go ahead and change it in the settings here as well. Yeah, I use 1 week Discord links so that I don't just have a bunch of Discord links laying around everywhere to deal with. Okay, we're good on we're good on the 1, 2, 3s, Marcel. We're good. We're good. I'm worried though. We're gonna reach a point if we're not already there, where bots are just gonna be able to respond to actual questions. DXF. Okay, I'll check it out. All right. There's definitely, you make those type of bots for work and already. I mean, a bot that can actually respond to a question though. I mean, to be fair, if everyone's spamming 1, 2, 3 in the chat, you could make a bot that would mimic that, right? So because Duvin responded saying 1, 2, 3 after we had like 5 people do it, it's possible bots picked up on that and they just start kind of regurgitating whatever is being said. For now, I'm gonna let Duvin here. He passed the initial smell test, so I'm not gonna push too hard on it right now. Yeah, this popped, but no news. This is, what is this, number 6? Stock number 6? Nook. Nook has news. Are you sure? It just went straight back down. No, I see. It does have news, yes. It's kind of sad when the no news stock is holding up better than the news stock. Announces, okay, acquisition. Okay, and it issued 1.85 million shares of common stock. Yeah, I hate to see that. That's very... This kind of news catalyst, you really need to understand the context of this plan to know if this is a good deal or not. VBIX. Yeah, I don't understand. Is this candy thing like code language for something? Am I about to get like DDoSed? Okay, 832. Completes first milestone transformer-based quantum decoder program. I have no clue what that means. Awesome. VBX 10 million shares. And UKK higher with 23 million. And what does DFX have? Or DXF? 1 million. So, oof. Ooh, that's nasty. Okay. He is better than Candyman Trader. Okay, this is really just sounding like bots. I know you said 1, 2, 3, but like I'm just... Is there like a way I can... Okay, I'm gonna look. Hold on. We're looking a little more. I'm looking at your activity. I'm looking through all of your activity on this channel. Maybe... No, okay, no, I'm looking at your history. Your history looks normal. You're talking like a normal person. You're just, today you're saying weird Candyman stuff. He explained above. If he did explain it, my apologies. I just missed it then. Okay. Sorry, I'm just out of the loop. I'm just being paranoid, I think. The whole team is here, yeah. Looks like we got a bunch of people. Oh god, all these people. I guess welcome from Candyman Trader. That's a... What a name for a trader, by the way. The Candyman Trader. I wonder how you come up with that. You look like Mr. Beast's brother. I wish. I wish. I don't think I look like Mr. Beast. I'm nowhere near in shape enough. Yeah, no, the channel is getting big to where I can't just like scroll back up and look. Yeah, that can happen. I wouldn't say my channel's exploding. I mean, what the channel's like what, 4 or 5 months old and I'm at 400 subs. That's like what? It's like 80 subs, 70 subs a month or something. That's still good growth, but I wouldn't call it explosive. But I do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, all these stocks that popped kind of just sucked. DFX, or DXF, immediately failed. Not surprising, it had no news. Nuck, this one, higher float. Don't like that. News is also kind of mid. What was the third one? There was a third one. VBIX. VBIX, no volume, gave the entire move back. So all three of these candidates kind of just sucked, if I'm being honest. LCFY curl is very interesting. Did this? Whoa! Whoa, you're actually so right. Wow. So, wow, that's actually... That's, first of all, that's like 12 green bar candles in a row. Wow, I genuinely did not expect this thing to come back to life. You're actually so right. Shook out longs and shorts. Yeah. So when this first popped up, I didn't want to touch it because it was up 100% on mediocre news. Granted, we were in a hot market, right? So people were willing to pile on immediately, but this was just too much. For this news catalyst, this did not justify an immediate 100% pop. So probably what happened was shorts attacked it aggressively. Even long traders were afraid to get in, so it pushed it immediately down. And then down here, people were saying, well, okay, but it's a hot market and there's news, so now I want the stock. So now it curls back up. See, I actually agree with you. I think that's so true. I think that this popped too quickly. Shorts attacked it. Bulls were afraid. It sold off too quickly and too much. So shorts ended up bailing. Longs ended up jumping in. And now we're kind of seeing an equilibrium. Yeah. Yeah, I like that assessment a lot. That makes a lot of sense. Yes. Yeah, John, I fully agree with you. Yeah, I'm a Warrior Trader member. Yes. Not a great fan of the program, but yes, I was a Warrior Trading member. I took it like 3 years ago. I think expires pretty soon. It hasn't expired for me yet, so I can still get on the platform, but yes, I did take the course. The pro course. Wow, this is actually so interesting. I don't think I want to mess with this anymore, right? I traded it on the pullback because I thought that this was a good bounce area, but I don't think I want to touch it here. I'm not really sure what it's going to do here. It's already shown that it can sell off hard and rally hard. You do 3 streams simultaneously. That's... I've considered that. I mean, maybe I should consider doing that more seriously. Like, I could do Mixer or whatever it is. There's like some other newer streaming platform that I heard pays really well. I mean, I could consider multi-streaming. I wouldn't want to do Twitch. Screw Twitch. But have I ever streamed on Twitch? Maybe a long time ago, but not for trading. But yeah, multi-streaming could be something. I've heard some people say that multi-streaming is the future. And maybe it is. But I do got to be careful too then, because, right, I know, like, for example, you can't really share chats. Now, I'm not sharing chat on the screen, but that would be something I would need to be careful of. Like, for a brief mode, I'm like, maybe I should show my chat on the screen. But I think that detracts too much from the message of the stream. Like, the stream is supposed to be about the trading, not all the poggers, exponential volume gang messages. Even though that would be quite funny. You watch 5 channels? Well, no, I get it. I look at multiple channels as well for trading. Not for streaming. I'll occasionally watch a streaming channel. But that's not my primary focus. express myself wrong. We're on Stock Rocks and do hot trades. Jesus trading. Jesus trading. I do watch Zendu. I actually, I'll pull it up here real quick. I have it right now. So, first of all, I strongly recommend Zendu if you're looking for kind of a confirmation source. So I have my own scanners, as a lot of you know, but I also use Zendu as kind of a confirmation, right? So I've got my scanners plus I've got Zendu scanners, and I just kind of cross-reference them to get extra coverage. Do I stream every day? I do. I stream every day. And you can also see all my streams on my channel. So you can go back through. There should be like a tab you can click for live on my channel. And you can see all of my live streams. They're all posted in public. Yeah, every day. Except for like 2 or something like 2. Right? One day I just was busy and couldn't. Another day I had like a streaming software issue. You know that you follow Benjamin. So I saw one of your comments a few days ago on his recap saying how much you won. Yeah, me and Ben, we actually collabed whenever we were both under 100 subs or something like that. I might have been just over 100. But yeah, he grew a lot faster than I did. My focus isn't really about covering basic things. I like to talk about things that are not really talked about by the trading community, like expected value is a big one. Right? Really trying to assess your edge. I think that's more important than talking about more surface level things like risk management and, I don't know, order flow. Like those are things that you can Google that on YouTube. You can Google how to read level 2 and you'll find 50 different videos. If you Google day trading expected value calculation, you're not going to see as much content for that. And I feel like that's more beneficial to put out than maybe some of the stuff that's more, I don't want to say clickbaity, but just stuff that beginners will gravitate towards. A beginner's not going to see, how do I improve my expected value by overcoming the discrepancy or the disadvantage of the spread? Like people aren't really looking for that. But that's really what people need, in my opinion. All right, I can't speak for other people. Other people can do what they want to do. I think I'll just do what I want to do. And this is the trade-off, right? I know that if I made more videos covering basic topics, I would probably grow this channel faster, but that's not really my goal. I want to grow this channel while also talking about things that I think are important. And that's a trade-off, right? It's really how much value am I providing? And the only way I'm really gonna be able to grow an audience, in my opinion, is if I get returns. Like with this account challenge, it's really important to me that I do well with it, because the only way I'm going to attract people to watch me is if I have success. And that should be a good metric for determining if people watch me, I think. If what I am doing is not making money, why should you waste your time with me? I think that's a very valid argument. For beginners and people that aren't profitable, they can't appeal that to you because they can't be profitable. So they have to say these other things like, oh, well, here's how the level 2 works. Here's how the time in sales works. Here's how order entry works. Hotkeys. Like, these are all kind of buzzwords that'll attract new traders. But I don't think this is a very good methodology for attracting people that are actually going to make them money. If that makes sense. So that's why I'm really not trying to focus on these kind of niche things, or not niche, but rather just opposite, generalized things that would attract viewers. And you guys, by the way, you can tell me what you want to see. I've seen some people talk about how they want to see my scanners, how I set them up. I've seen people ask to see my hotkeys. I respect that. And I'm not ruling that out as stuff I can cover, but it needs to be more about process oriented. It needs to be less about what my actual scanners are. It needs to be, how am I thinking about these hotkeys and scanners? Right? For example, with my hotkeys, specifically, I am structured to work within the spread. I'm not trying to cross the spread. I only have a single hotkey for crossing the spread, and that is to liquidate the position. So I've actually basically finished the warrior trading video. I had to redact some things, which is why I had to pause it. So the video is basically done, but because I was talking about front running, and I did a ton of research into it. I did a bunch of simulations to essentially gather data that I thought supported Ross front trading, or front running his trades. And I do think that that's evidence is very appealing. But the issue is that the more I was thinking about it, I mean, I've got like 5 figures that I could run for bankroll, and I would be putting out not necessarily a hit piece, but it would not look very good for Ross if I put out what my research shows. And Ross has sued people for putting out that kind of content. And his track record is he's basically gotten everybody to settle with him. So I'm really, really afraid to put out that kind of information. So I'm not really sure. Am I profitable, trading captain? I have been net profitable the last 2 years. Yes. Over 5 figures. Not a crazy return. Granted, day trading is something I'm trying to build up more of. A lot of those profits have come from swing trading over the last 2 years. But even from day trading, yes. Day trading the last 2 years, I have been net profitable as well. Although to a much lower extent. I think it's more like 4 figures from just day trading. But yes, from swing trading and from day trading, I am net profitable from both. Honestly, for Weeple, I just use Turbo Trader buttons. Turbo Trader, what is that? Is that a thing? Is that like the active trader from Thinkorswim? I have actually never heard of that. I'll go ahead and make a note on that to look at that later. Only criticism, can you fix the screen? Will I ever do a video on how I swing trade? Probably not, Mr. Chungington. Reason for that is I swing trade small caps. And a lot of these have low floats, like one that I have a big position in with several thousand shares. It's under a million shares float. My worry is that it creates a strong conflict of interest for me to share my positions to people, where if I am holding a significant position in a stock that has under a million shares float, and I say, hey guys, I have like thousands of shares of this stock, and I put that out to you guys, that's going to create a strong conflict of interest to where even if I'm saying that to 50 people, 50 people will pump a stock that is under a million shares. And I think that's just a bad thing for me to try and engage with. So I don't really want to do that. Maybe like I could talk more about the process of how I swing trade, because with swing trading, I focus more on the fundamentals of the stocks and try to find good value. But I don't think I would talk personally about my positions, if that makes sense. Is it the zoom at the top left of C? Yeah, I didn't know. You said fix your screen. I just kind of rule that off as you just like BMing me. But if you actually have a critique of the stream, like if you think a part of the layout doesn't look good, by all means, shoot a question or shoot a suggestion. I'm totally open to it. You really think so? You are a mini Ross that moves markets? I mean, in a way, yes, right? Like Ross is buying 10,000 shares of a stock that sometimes will have a float less than 1 million. If you're streaming to 2,000 people and you say, hey, I bought this stock, and these are people that are paying $100 a month, $150 a month to watch you, like, to me, that's a conflict of interest. And I don't want to engage with that, right? I don't really mind doing it for this because I'm just buying like 50 shares. I do have a delay on the stream as well. Real quick, I just want to pivot to DFX because this is actually curling quite nicely. But yeah, same as LCFY. Yeah. Ross bought 30K shares of HL. Yeah. You're fucking right about Ross. Yeah. And the thing is I'm not accusing him of front running. I want to be very clear with that. I look at evidence and I say, okay, there is a logical conclusion that could be made that Ross could be benefiting from this. But I'm not accusing him of front running because he has, to be, in his defense, right? Ross has done a lot of things to try and push back on the front running narrative, right? He does delay his streams. He doesn't show his position size. He only shows that he's in a position. He puts disclaimers everywhere saying don't copy his trades. So Ross has done a lot to kind of dissuade people or to distance himself from the front running. But at the same time, when you have 2,000 people plus, I mean, I've seen it up to 5,000 people. If you have 5,000 people who are paying to watch you and you say, I bought the stock, to me, logically, that creates a conflict of interest. And I'm not saying he intends it, but I think a rational person would conclude that that does create a conflict of interest scenario. And again, I'm not accusing him. That's not my goal. I'm just saying that I'm noticing this. I did a bunch of simulations, and the results from my simulations were pretty convincing to me. But yeah, I still do plan to do the warrior trading video, but I am going to omit the front running investigation that I did. I think that deters. It's too borderline with defamation. I don't have anything that can concretely prove that Ross is front running or that he is intentionally trying to. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not accusing Ross of front running, and I don't think there is enough evidence to conclude decisively that he is front running either. I want to make that really clear here. But I do have my suspicions. You try to make between 50 and $100 minimum daily. Whatever goal fits your risk tolerance. Would love a video on the process, especially from someone who is not trying to sell anything. Yeah, it's funny. I got accused super hard by one guy, and I respect him, right? Who was basically saying, man, it seems like you're just trying to sell a course the way you're talking about all this. And yes, the fact that I constantly say, I haven't said it much lately. I should say it more. I should keep saying it, that I don't sell a course or anything or a product. But yeah, I think the fact that I'm constantly making clear that I don't sell stuff really puts me in a position where you can look at what I'm saying from an objective standpoint. Yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. I do need to log that other trade because I didn't. Let's see. $22.98. $11. Yeah. Okay, so slight discrepancy here. It's saying 147. weird. I'll just go with 210 because that matches that. Yeah, weird why it's not matching up perfectly. Should be a bit, my loss should be a bit lower here. But you can sell after. Yeah. Technically I could, but like, and just to clarify why I'm not selling anything. To me, if I sell a course, I would feel comfortable doing that if I felt I could give value and I could sell something that would translate directly into someone else benefiting from it. Like, for example, if you teach someone plumbing or you teach someone to be an electrician, they can know which wires to hook, they can know which pipes to tighten, and you can teach them a job that will directly translate into profits based off of their skill and how much they push, right? They're based off their motivation. That makes sense. But when I teach, if I were to teach you my style or what I have learned over the last like 5 to 7 years, the reality is that that has a high chance to convert to failure. And to me, I hate the idea of selling someone something knowing that they're likely going to lose money from my teachings. So in good faith, I don't think I could sell a course. Like that's why I do not want to sell something. If I thought I could sell something to you guys and it would make you money, I would sell you something. But I don't think I can. Even with my edge is pretty small. I can make money with it over a long enough period, and I can make up to 4 or 5 figures with it. But trying to teach someone something whenever my edge is this small feels like it's doing you more harm than it's doing you good. Frickin' Roller doesn't die. How's Roller doing? I heard someone else talk about it too. Is it still holding up? Wow, okay. Is this gonna be the next SMX? Like, really impressive. This stock is recovering. But I think in financial markets, you can't sell value, your edge, because you will be with no edge. So I think the strategies that selling in markets was old. No, I get it too, right? My edge is small, and there is also, you bring up a good point too. If I can talk about my edge, and I know my edge so thoroughly that I know me just streaming it, people cannot replicate it. Like, you cannot just simply copy my style and replicate it just by seeing me do it. I have done, at this point, it's been years of research into refining my strategy. So if it's taken me this long to refine it, I don't think that people watching me stream it can just replicate it. So yeah, if I were to teach you a strategy, and that's a good point, right? If my strategy was teachable and I tried to teach you, realistically, my strategy works because people don't do it. So yeah, it's a conflict of interest for me to teach you it too. So I agree with that as well. Makes you wonder why people like Ross and other course sellers sell their course. Because you'd think if they had an edge, if everybody did it, their edge would go away, right? So that's certainly an interesting point too. Why are people able to sell courses like Ross and be profitable? Because that should theoretically deter their edge or degrade their edge. Later, Wiz. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, only 2 trades for me today. It's been a slower day, and this one was I don't really like how this one played out. I gave it a C+ rating. Like, we had 4 stocks. Not this one. We had 4 stocks by 7:30 that were moving with no news. And I ended up taking a trade on one of them just because we had nothing better. And it just was not a great setup. Courses are overdone. People need to start teaching market dynamics instead. Exactly. Preach it, man. Low floats, that is exactly right. And that's what I'm doing, really. And I'm doing that for what I think is free, right? I talked about the spread. I think that's a critical one. Just really anything that helps you build an edge fundamentally, not necessarily about certain setups. I think teaching the actual process of learning what an edge would need is more important than teaching a setup or a strategy. Yeah. Well, I'll give it a couple more minutes here. SOWG might be in play. It's really cheap, though. And no news. Okay, yeah, no. No news, cheap stock, not interested. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, I do stream every day, every market day. I won't be here this weekend. But yeah, if you're new to the stream and you like it, consider subscribing. I do stream every day. It is a slower process. This is right. I'm not swinging for the fence with like 10% green days or 50% green days like some other traders, but I do what I think is realistic, which is small incremental gains and just trying to be consistent with that. So if you're interested in that, maybe subscribe. But yeah, we'll give it like another minute or two. OCG, how does that one? Okay. This does have news. Okay, 96,000 shares. Okay, that's definitely wrong. Oh, it's saying it's 25,000 up. Okay, so this is a reverse split. Gotcha. All right, what is it for? Let's say here. I don't see what the reverse split is for. Heading to Candyland stream. Yeah, you have fun at Candyland, man. Yeah, I might just call it here as well. I have a very small cushion on the day too. I'm only up $8. I might just call it with that. Be grateful that I'm at least green today. Honestly too, considering how many stocks moved today that had no news, there was a lot of traps today. Today was a very hostile day. So the fact that I navigated with one small loss and one decent winner, I should be happy with that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I will be back. I don't think I'll be back Monday because I think we have a holiday. If we have a holiday, I'll be back on Tuesday. If we're good for Monday, I'll be back Monday. But yeah, you guys have a good